Здравствуйте, ребята! Сегодня тема нашего вебинара «Виртуальная экскурсия по местам Гарри Поттера» Virtual Tour of Harry Potter Location. Пожалуйста, поставьте в чате плюсики, чтобы я увидела, какая у нас активная аудитория. So let's start our lesson. So have you ever read Harry Potter? So please put down your answer in the chat. Yes, no, maybe you are planning to read it later. Have you watched the film maybe? So you can put down your answer yes, book, yes, film, or maybe no. Never mind if you have never read Harry Potter. Now we're going to talk about him. Harry Potter was born in Surrey, England, United Kingdom. His parents, Lily and James Potter, were killed by an evil wizard named Lord Voldemort. While Voldemort was trying to kill Harry, yet Harry escaped with no harm except a scar in the shape of a lightning bolt, and Voldemort ended up mostly dead. So let's discuss the vocabulary here. Killed by an evil wizard. Evil злой, wizard волшебник. Escape убежать. A scar in the shape of lightning bolt. Scar это шрам, lightning bolt, lightning это молния. Получается шрам в виде молнии сияющей. To end up, mostly dead, умереть, почти скончаться, but we know that Voldemort didn't end up. Okay, so let's move on. So Harry is raised by his non-magical Aunt Petunia, Uncle Vernon, and cousin Dudley, and is mistreated by them. As a child, he didn't know that he was a wizard. He eventually discovers that there are many magical people living secretly and hiding from non-wizards known as muggles. So, as you can see here, family, Vernon, Dudley, and Petunia mistreat, плохо обращаться. So Harry was mistreated by them. And non-wizards, we usually call it muggles, muggler. Okay, so let's move on. When Harry turned 11 on July 31, he received a letter inviting him to go to a school called Hogwarts, for young witches and wizards. Each book tells the story of 1 year of his life, and the school tells how he struggles. So let's discuss the vocabulary again. Witches and wizards. So witch female, как раз ведьма, wizard волшебник. So receive a letter, получить письмо. And the last one, to struggle. Struggle means to fight, сражаться. Как раз, if we translate, each book tells the story of 1 year of his life at the school and tells how he struggles. Каждая книжка рассказывает о истории его жизни, каждый год, всего 7 книжек, о его жизни в школе, рассказывает о его сражениях, how he struggles. Okay, so on Hogwarts Express, the train they use to get to Hogwarts, he meets Ron Weasley and Hermione Granger, who become his best friend. So here you can see Ron Weasley with Harry and Hermione. Okay, so it's time to go to Diagon Alley before we go to Hogwarts. So let's move on. But before we go to Diagon Alley, we should withdraw money, снять деньги, to withdraw money. So please put down this word in your vocabulary, this phrase in your vocabulary. So, Gringotts Bank. So you can see here trolls. The only bank in the Wizarding World you can withdraw your fortune at the Australia House, which is just north of Temple Tube Station at the Victoria Embankment. Marvel and goggles and impressive stonework. So, Wizarding World, у нас уже было это слово wizard, и можно образовать прилагательное, волшебный мир, чудесный мир. To withdraw your fortune, снять состояние. withdraw money, we can actually say. Okay, and so what can we see here? Victoria Embankment. Victoria Embankment. So it means dumbbell embankment. So please put down in your vocabulary. Marvel and goggles. Goggles, I think you know this word, горгульи, and impressive stonework. Impressive stonework. Это каменная складка, очень красивая там. If you go there, you should see. If you go to London, you should attend this bank. So here you can see Australia House. And now let's learn phrases which we can use when we go to bank. So let's read it together. Repeat after me. I'd like to withdraw. I'd like to withdraw. Я хочу снять. And you name the sum. I'd like to withdraw 100 pounds. I want to make a withdrawal. Я хочу снять. Actually, we can use as a verb, as a noun. So please pay attention. A withdrawal. We add al to withdraw. So please pay attention. Verb. Where is the nearest cash machine? Где тот самый ближний банкомат? So remember that in Harry Potter they don't have cash machines or credit cards. So in real life we use them. I'd like to open an account. I'd like to open a personal account. So maybe you remember the moment at the beginning of the film Harry Potter and Philosopher's Stone when Hagrid says that he wants to visit Harry Potter's account. And I'd like to open an account. Это как открыть счет. Personal account, личный счет. Could you tell me my balance, please? Ну, здесь можете ли вы сказать баланс, какой у меня? So, and when we use cash machine, so I think that you have seen these phrases, but in Russia, insert your card. Ставьте карту, enter your PIN, incorrect PIN. Enter вводить, so I think that you have already heard about it. So, the leaky cauldron. So, we have withdrawn money, and now we are going to order lunch at the leaky cauldron. It's one of the most popular restaurants or cafes. Actually, it's very hard to say. In Harry Potter, leaky cauldron since 19,000. So, phrases. Which we can use when we go to cafes, to restaurants. Can I get you any drinks? What do you recommend? What's this dish? Dish means блюдо. Что это за блюдо? When you don't understand what you get. I've got a reservation. Do you have a reservation? Would you have the bill? So, would you have the bill? Можно ли счет, пожалуйста? The bill, so please put down this word in your vocabulary. Can I pay by card? Do you take credit cards? Могу ли оплатить карты? Принимаете ли вы кредитные карты? Okay, so now look at the real leaky cauldron. So sticking with Leadenhall Market, here you'll find the secret visits pub, the leaky cauldron, which in real life is an optician. Opticians как раз магазин, где продают очки, можете проверить зрение. Вот. But you can still enjoy the Harry Potter magic by visiting Old Tom's Bar, which is hidden underneath Leadenhall Market. So, and here you can see Leadenhall Market, and it's a Diagon Alley actually. So, Leaky Cauldron and Diagon Alley in real life. So time to talk about Diagon Alley. Here you can see the scenes from Harry Potter. From the last part, actually, you can see the dragon here and several shops. So Leadenhall Market is a beautiful covered marketplace in the city of London. It's a contemporary shopping precinct with trendy bars and cute cafes, but housed in a historic Victorian era. Covered building still makes you feel a little like you've stepped back in time a century or two. So, a beautiful marketplace here on the look. So contemporary means modern, today. Contemporary means современный. Shopping precinct, это как округ магазинный такой, как marketplace actually we can use. Trendy, actually it means the same, contemporary, trendy. And house, они как находятся, historic Victorian era. To step, как ступить, step back in time, вернуться в то время, 2 века или 1 век назад. So, would you like to go there? So please put down your answer in the chat. If I had a chance, I would go there, definitely. Okay, so here you can see Diagon Alley. So, Flourish and Blots, I think you have seen this shop in Harry Potter. Wizarding equipment, Fred and George Market. Okay, so and now we are going to go to Hogwarts, and there are several ways how we can get there. The first one, we can go by Magical Fort Anglia. Maybe you have watched the film Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, when Harry Potter and Ron Weasley can't get through the barrier and they have to go by car. So let's read about St. Pancras International. Next door to King's Cross Station is London's favorite destination station, St. Pancras International. Outside you'll see the neo-Gothic facade of St. Pancras, where the Weasley's magical Fort Anglia, so you can see here Fort Anglia, takes off in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. So neo-Gothic, neo-готический, so on the look, the temples and the style of this building. Okay, so now look inside of the St. Pancras Station. St. Pancras Station opened in 1868 and is one of the wonders of Victorian engineering. Along with the former Midland Grand Hotel, it is a masterpiece of Victorian Gothic architecture and one of the most elegant stations in the world. Yes, it's true. Only look at the building and in the side. So it looks magnificent and it's huge and tremendous. So let's look at the vocabulary. Masterpiece – это как шедевр. Шедевр викторианской классической архитектуры. So masterpiece. So please put down your answers please put down this word in your vocabulary. Masterpiece actually we can use when we describe something beautiful, something magnificent. For example, or maybe Mona Lisa is masterpiece, or maybe some dish was masterpiece. And elegant, elegantly, so it's clear, I think. Okay, so let's move on. And the easiest way how we can get to Hogwarts, King's Cross Station. So King's Cross Station is considered one of the main train stations to South London, England. Students of Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry took the Scarlet Steam engine named the Hogwarts Express to Hogwarts from platform 9 3/4 every 1st September at 11 a.m. sharp. So, on the look at the King's Cross, it doesn't look magnificent like the previous one, but nevertheless, it is the easiest way to get to Hogwarts. So let's look at the vocabulary. Steam engine, Scarlet Steam engine. Scarlet means red, алый, красный. Steam engine, it means train, поезд. Hogwarts Express. So, okay, sharp. Ровно в 11, если мы используем в конце sharp, то получается 9 a.m. sharp or 12 a.m. sharp. It doesn't matter. Witchcraft and wizarding. Волшебства и чародейство. So here you can see the platform, 9 3/4. And so how can we get to Hogwarts? So to get to platform 9 3/4, one must run straight at the wall between platforms 9 and 10. King's Cross also served as a major intercity and commuter rail hub for Muggles going to North London or Yorkshire and the North East and Scotland. So let's discuss the vocabulary again. So intercity means междугородний, intercity train, for example. Commuter train means пригородный поезд. Rail hub means железнодорожный узел. So получается у нас междугородний и пригородный железнодорожный узел. So what else? So finally we are going to Hogwarts, and let's describe the way. The Jacobite. Described as the greatest railway journey in the world, this 84 miles round trip takes you past a list of impressive extremes. Starting near the highest mountain in Britain, Ben Nevis, it visits Britain's most westerly mainland railway station. Erisic passes close by the deepest freshwater loch in Britain, Loch Morar, and the shortest river in Britain. River Morar finally arriving next to the deepest seawater loch in Europe, Loch Nevis. So have you heard about Loch Ness monster? So please put down your answer in the chat. So on the look at the scene, it looks great, and on the look at the way. So the Hogwarts Express train that carries Harry, Ron, and Hermione to school each year is filmed in an actual railway line. It was built between 1897 and 1901, and it consists of 21 arcs, and the tallest of which is 30 meters high. Just imagine. So here you can see Ron and Harry eating something sweet, maybe chocolate frogs, Bertie Bott's, and something else. So let's move on. So finally we arrived at Hogwarts, and maybe you remember this moment from Prisoner of Azkaban, when Harry, Ron and Hermione are going to the deviation class, to Professor Trelawney's classes, по предсказаниям deviation classes. Okay, and here it was filmed from the place St. Paul's Cathedral, one of London's most iconic landmarks. St. Paul's Cathedral is used as a geometrical staircase seen in Prisoner of Azkaban, so you can see here. So landmark means ориентир. So let's move on. Let's talk about cathedral. St. Paul's Cathedral is Sir Christopher Wren's masterpiece, built in glowing Portland stone, crowned by the magnificent dome, a famous landmark of the skyline of the City of London. The wide flight of steps leads to the suburb west facade, a double-story portico and the two barrack towers. The left tower houses the largest bell in England, Great Paul, casting 1882, weighing 17 tons. Just imagine 17 tons, Great Paul. So let's talk about magnificent dome. So dome, купол. So here you can see it. Magnificent, бесподобный. So прекрасный. Landmark, we have already this word. Популярный ориентир. And what else? Okay, masterpiece. So how can you translate the word masterpiece? So please put down your answer in the chat. Glowing Portland stone. Glowing, it means shiny, как сияющий. Okay. So, and now it's time to talk about the great hall, dining hall in Harry Potter. So, I think that all remember when Harry Potter celebrate Halloween and Christmas in this hall. So, maybe do you remember the magnificent dining hall where Harry Potter and other Hogwarts students had meals? In real life, it's the Great Hall of Christ Church College, the largest college of Oxford University, actually. You won't see the floating candles here. What a pity, but the atmosphere is still magic. Built in 1529, the Great Hall hasn't changed very much since this time, as you see. Only the roof had to be reconstructed once. So, and the prestigious University at Oxford was used for several filming scenes in Harry Potter movies. So, it looks magnificent and magical, actually. Okay, so now we are going to talk about Elmwick Castle. So maybe you remember the first part, Philosopher's Stone, when Harry Potter and his friends were trying to fly on the broomsticks. Broomstick means metla. We can use broom or broomstick, it doesn't matter actually. So, Madam Hook's broomsticks flying lesson, seen in the first film, takes place in the outer bailey of medieval Elmwick Castle. The castle is a sight to behold and is located some 320 miles from London. So, to behold means to gaze, to watch, это смотреть, любоваться. Medieval, средневековье. So here you can see Hagrid with umbrella. So every summer, one fest is organized there, and you can take part in it. And Professor Dumbledore and Hagrid are organizing some tricks for children. So I think it sounds great and funny. So would you like to go there? So please put down your answer in the chat. Yes, no, maybe. And nevertheless, the amazing thing is that the castle is open to the public. And it means that you can see a lot of interesting things there, not only performance with Hagrid and Dumbledore, but actually you can have a tour in the castle. Okay, so on the castle, special exhibitions are housed in 3 of the castle's perimeter towers. The Boston Tower, as well as featuring an exhibition of the Dukes of Northumberland and their interest in archaeology, include frescoes from Pompeii, relics from ancient Egypt, and Romano-British objects. So relics means remains, остатки. Реликвии тоже можно перевести, но в этом случае будет remains. Constable Towers houses military displays like the Percy Tenantry Volunteers exhibition. Local volunteer soldiers raced to repel Napoleon's planned invasion in the period 1798 to 1814. The Abbot's Tower houses the Regimental Museum of the Royal Northumberland Fusiliers. So, as you see, there are a lot of exhibits in the museum, and it's quite interesting to see it in your own eyes. So I advise you to go there if you have such chance, maybe after pandemic with parents. So now we are going to Lekak Abbey, another fantastic place to find traces of Harry Potter school is Lekak Abbey. This wonderful abbey was founded in 1232 and for over 300 years served as a nunnery. So nunnery means женский монастырь. Если же мы скажем nun, это монахиня, так будет легче запомнить. Nun, монахиня, nunnery, монастырь, женский. Okay. But most parts of the medieval abbey have remained unchanged. So maybe you remember some moment from Harry Potter, especially from Philosopher's Stone, when Harry Potter and his friends were discussing something about Philosopher's Stone, about Professor Snape, and suddenly Professor Snape appeared in front of them. It's my favorite moment. So, and the village of Lecoq is located just over 90 miles from London. Various places in Lecoq were used in Harry Potter, such as the Potter's House in Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, and the Lecoq Abbey, which served as the interior for the Hogwarts School. So, Lecoq is quite often used for the Hogwarts School. So, would you like to go there? So, please put down your answer in the chat. So, here you can see Lecoq again. Lecoq is a village and civil parish in the county of Wiltshire, England, about 3 miles 5 kilometers south of the town of Chippenham. The village is owned almost in its entirety by the National Trust and attracts many visitors by virtue of its unspoiled appearance. So it's like from the old time, it looks the same and it doesn't change. Okay, so let's move on. Durham Cathedral. Some of Hogwarts corridors and classrooms, including Professor McGonagall's classroom, were shot at Durham Cathedral. This 12th century building is famous not only for its architecture but also for its beautiful setting. It's in a national wild poll, it was voted the nation's best loved building. So это как раз здание считается самым любимым в Англии. In the first film, you can see Harry Potter walking through the snowy cloister of Durham Cathedral with his old Hedwig. Maybe you remember this moment when he sent his letters to Hagrid or to Sirius, actually from this place. So behind the cathedral stands the castle, an ancient Norman fortress, which was the residence of the Prince Bishops of Durham. So, would you like to go there to feel the atmosphere of Harry Potter? Actually, this place was used to it was used in the first part when Harry Potter and Oliver Wood were training for the Quidditch match, and it was the first time when Harry Potter saw the snitch. And this castle plays a huge role not only in book but in author's life. This castle inspired John Rowling to write the story about Harry Potter, and out of the window is Castle Rock. Joanne K. Rowling envisaged Hogwarts as next to a loch, this big Gothic thing set in the mountains of Scotland. So use your imagination to fill in the view. Actually, it looks like Hogwarts, but not so magnificent. But anyway, it's something common. There is something common between them. So let's move on. So here you can see Joanne K. Rowling and the Scarlet Steam Engine. So happiness can be found even in the darkest of places if only turns on the light. Счастье можно найти даже в темных местах, если только появится свет, небольшой свет, даже небольшой яркий свет. Some say that on a cold winter's day, nose beaten by the cold, a warm elephant house cover so in your hand. If you listen very, very carefully and concentrate very, very hard, you can still feel the magic, and it can feel you too. It still lingers from all those years ago. So, if you want to feel the atmosphere of Harry Potter, you should go to Edinburgh and to visit Elephant House. And you actually can use the phrases which we discussed during our lesson about dish, about credit cards. So let's move on. So it's time for quiz. So let's see if you can guess the Harry Potter vocabulary in English. So could you so please put down your answer in the chat. For example, number 1 here, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I give you 1 minute to think, and then we will do it together. It's not very hard. Okay, so let's check it. So the first one, it's a clock, mantия, clock. For example, clock room, как раз раздевалка. Okay, broom, it means метла. In Harry Potter, actually they use the word broomstick, тоже метла. So I can use broom or broomstick. A magic wand. Wand means палочка, волшебная палочка. In books they actually use more wands without, they don't add magic. A spell, so it means заклинание. Maybe you have seen in Harry Potter the title of the books, especially when Hermione goes to the library, she takes a lot of books about spells, как раз книжки по заклинаниям, spell books. And finally, сова. Okay, so number the pictures in the order they appear in the story. So, Philosopher's Stone. So please put down your answer in the chat. So the number 1 is train. Let's repeat the word, and you can put down your answer in the chat. For example, train, там поезд, moon, луна, dining hall, виденный зал, castle, замок, stairs, лестница, Professor McGonagall, it's clear, sorting head, шляпа, candles, boat, лодка, and toad, жаба, or frog. Okay, so please put down your answer in the chat. You can put down in Russian if you don't remember the word which we repeated. Okay, the first one is train. It's clear. So when they arrived to Hogwarts, it was very late. So I think it will be moon. The second one. The third one is the boat, лодки. Then they arrived to Hogwarts, and they were standing on the stairs. Как раз они там стали на ступеньках в начале книги и фильма. So the stairs, the first one. So the fifth, I think it will be the third, when Neville Longbottom lost his sword and suddenly appeared Professor McGonagall, and then she said that they should go to the dining hall, Hogwarts Hall. So when they go there, and we forgot about the castle. So the first one is train, the second one is moon, the third one is boats, then castle, the fifth one, the sixth one is stairs, seventh sword, finally Professor McGonagall. And then they go to the dining hall, they go through sorting hat, как раз сортировочная шляпа, faculty, the student choose their faculties, and candles, or maybe we can finish with the sorting hat. So many variants, as you see. Okay, and the last one. What about the fictional places in Harry Potter? So please put down your answer in the chat. For example, number 1 here is, so what can it be? Maybe Gringotts, who knows? So please put down your answer in the chat. I'll give you 30 seconds. Okay, so the first one is diagonally. So you can see Ollivander shop, flourishing plots. Okay. The second one is clear, platform 3/4, 9/3. So finally our Hogwarts, Ministry of Magic. If you want to see Ministry of Magic, you can watch The Warden of Phoenix or The Last Deathly Hallows. And finally, Gringotts Bank. Буду рада ответить на ваши вопросы, если они остались, касательно Гарри Поттера, лексики. Вы можете написать в чат, если что-то непонятно, тогда я отвечу на ваши вопросы. Наш вебинар подходит к концу. Спасибо за внимание. Надеюсь, вы узнали много нового о мире Гарри Поттера и об истории Англии немножко, и об архитектуре.